Over the past 12 years, Jennifer and I have spent the vast majority of our time working with families that own and are still operating their family enterprises. And the next gens often ask us, why is every family gathering a conversation opportunity for business? In other words, why can't family be family and separate that like a surgeon would scalpel something out of your body? But yet it's so hard to not bring in the family business conversation. And so where we go with it, and we like to have this conversation with the family at whole. So if you're listening to this and you own a family business, operating a family business, this is super critical for a lot of different reasons. But how we define it is we ask them the question, do you view yourself as a family business or a business family? And this is not my original material. I just cannot remember where I heard it. But it was back with a group called Family Meridian. And the difference is when you view yourself as a family business, then there's no separation. Everything's gray. Every time you're together, it's about business. Every time you're together, it's about family. Every time you're together, it's about family and business. And what it does for the next gens is they start seeing an unhealthy heaviness that the family business brings. Then they get married, and the people that marry into the family, if they're not from that same culture, are going, what on earth is going on here? All you guys do is talk about the family business. Well, besides the fact that it's super important, it's our lifeblood, but the fact of the matter is it can be unhealthy when every family gathering, every family vacation, every anniversary, every birthday, every Sunday dinner is actually a business meeting. So then if they define themselves that way as a family business, we kind of talk through that piece. And you see the body language in the room, like, raising your hand. And if you were at church, you'd have an amen section going, and you'd probably be able to take an offering too, right? Because the kids and the parents and the cousins and the the in-laws, all are experiencing this, but they don't know how to put language to it. And they don't want to offend the people that are working so hard to provide for the family. Family business owners, probably make up like 62 million jobs overall in the United States. I think I just read an article yesterday. Because they were talking about the phasing in and phasing out of the baby boomers owning companies and selling them or just shutting them down. So it's very, very important that you can have the conversation and talk about what is this thing called family business, or are we framing it the wrong way? And let's set aside one issue real quick. The wealth creator, the genius behind the G1 that is creating the company for the family, is an experience that no other generation will experience. So they're going to go on a journey themselves that is very enmeshed because they're eating, drinking, and sleeping, sacrificing everything they've got to make this dream come true, the American dream come true. So now let's switch gears. What's a business family? It is simply a family that operates businesses. And that's a huge distinction. And so we always ask our clients, do you feel like you're a family business? Is that where some of the chaos is coming from? Or would you be open to a conversation about being a business family, which simply means we are a family that own and operates businesses, and we can create separation because that's just what we do. It's just what we do versus it being enmeshed. And so when you have a business family, they can actually have a anniversary, a birthday, a vacation together, and they can talk family. They can talk hobbies. They can, and not feel like or feel obligated to bring in the business all the time, because their identity is not completely enmeshed with the business. They just happen to be a family that owns and operates businesses. And so, as people listen to this, I think they've got a fundamental choice. We are champions of the family businesses, but we believe that there is a functional structure, and language, words are important. And we believe the healthier families we've worked with have said, no, we just happen to be a business family. And so a lot of fun conversations we've had. And I think what happens is when you allow some separation, you allow some margin between the family and the business, members of the family view the business in a healthier way. And they don't feel it's controlling everything. So if you're parents out there, we want to encourage you to create some separation. Really think through functionally, do we want to be a business family, which is nothing wrong with it, or would we rather functionally operate as a business family? And it simplifies things. It creates separation. And again, we're big advocates for the next gens in everybody's lives, the future generations, the rising generations, as some people call them. And we want them to view the family enterprise, the family business, in a positive way, not a life-sucking way. So I think the big challenge out there for all of us that own our own businesses is, how are we packaging those for our families? Do we really want it completely enmeshed where we can't get away from it? We can't have some healthy separation? Or do we want to really lean into the fact that we happen to be a family? We have a family unit over here. And by the way, this family unit happens to own some businesses. And by the way, we don't just own them, we actually operate them. And that's a good thing. It's a healthy thing. But it's not something we eat, sleep, and drink every day. So in closing, it's just this contrast in business models or in family models. Frankly, I've never thought of it as a family model. Are we a business family or a family that happens to run businesses? And if you can challenge your own thought process to that, I think you'll come up with some creative conversations and figure out how to just be healthier so your next generations view the business opportunity in a healthy way. They have time to go to the kids' soccer games. They have time for friendships. They have time for small groups. They have time for a life. The other model, the family business model, tends to consume. So you get way out of balance in different areas of your life. And so that's just something to consider. It's something we've worked with for last 12 years, and find that perspective that we are now a business family puts a different thought process and creates a healthier environment around the family enterprises.